It's a big one today, guys. JK Rowling. I'm going to try to keep this coherent and be as much about JK Rowling as possible without turning it into a Harry Potter love fest. For those of you who don't know, JK Rowling is the author of the wildly internationally popular Harry Potter book series. She is the definition of a rags to riches success story. Within the span of 5 years, she went from being a single mother living on welfare to being a multi-millionaire. She loved writing ever since she was a little kid. She used to sit on her little sister Diane to make her listen to her stories. No, I don't want to listen. Get off. I'm going to read you these stories whether you like it or not. Once upon a time. Oh, get off. Her parents did meet at King's Cross, which is a number of years later, the train platform that J.K. Rowling was pulling into when the image of Harry Potter popped, fully formed into her head. Harry Potter. Jo, if you're watching this, let's be best friends. She eventually moved to Portugal to teach English as a second language. And then at a bar one night she meets this guy, Jorge Arantes. I just absolutely adore Jane Austen. Oh yes, I also love Jane Austen. Oh, we should get together more and talk about our interest in Jane Austen. Yeah. So they got married and had a kid and then became separated shortly thereafter. And she moved to Edinburgh in Scotland. And that's where she became as poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. She gets a restraining order against her ex-husband. So she's living on welfare and working on writing this children's book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. She shops around her first 3 chapters, finds an agent who's like, heck yeah, we'll help you try to get this published, and get turned down by 12 publishing houses. 12 publishing houses read the first 3 chapters of Harry Potter and are like, no. And then lo and behold, this little publishing house called Bloomsbury, guy in charge reads chapter 1, gives it to his 8-year-old daughter, who upon finishing it immediately demands chapter 2. So he's like, I guess we gotta publish it. Bloomsbury, however, said that they would not publish it under the name Joanne Rowling because they didn't think that a book about a boy would sell if it was written by a woman. Now, she doesn't actually have a middle name, so she decided to give herself the middle name Kathleen after one of her grandmothers. Hence, the invention of the persona JK Rowling. They give her a, like, £1,000 advance and publish 1,000 copies, 500 of which went to libraries. Those 1,000 copies are now estimated to be worth between £16,000 and £25,000. And then those 1,000 copies of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone start getting a lot of traction. All of a sudden, publishing houses in the United States are auctioning off for the rights to publish it. Scholastic ends up winning the rights for over $100,000. And J.K. Rowling said that when she heard that news, she nearly fainted. She writes, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire. The first 3 books all win Smarties prizes, and she was the first person in the world to win 3 years consecutive, so then she actually withdrew the 4th book from contention so as to give the other books a chance. Classic. Philosopher's Stone first run is 1,000 copies. Deathly Hallows, the last installment of the series, sells 11 million copies in just 24 hours and becomes the fastest selling book in history. She was the first person to ever become a billionaire just by writing. Time magazine named her the 2007 Person of the Year because of the social, political, and moral impact that she had on her fans. Yeah. It's that awesome. So then she decides that she wants to try writing without the pressure and fame that accompanies the name of J.K. Rowling, so she invents the pseudonym Robert Galbraith and writes a detective mystery crime novel under that name. It's getting really good reviews, and the instant that she announced, I am Robert Galbraith, sales of the book skyrocketed 4,000%. And she was always religious. And then she, for a point, stopped going to church because she was annoyed at the smugness of religious people. Her words, not mine. Long story short, she's an amazing person. Did I say that she's not a billionaire anymore because she's donated so much money to charity? I'm serious, Jo. Let's be best friends. Do I sound desperate? feel a little desperate. God, she's amazing. Thank you for watching. If you think that J.K. Rowling is interesting, you're right. She is. Make sure that you subscribe so that you catch our next video about the iconic Albert Einstein. Einstein? You've heard of Einstein, right? They know. As always, live long, prosper, and be kind to animals. And read Harry Potter if you haven't. You're welcome.